from California. Congressman, thank you for being back on the show.
Thank you, Hallie. I agree with everything Stephanie just said.
Well, let me ask you some things about it. Do you think that today's jobs report makes it more likely or less likely there needs to be a fourth round of stimulus checks?
It makes it more likely that we need to pass the president's plan for two reasons. First, women's unemployment is what went up. The women's employment fell. Men actually were getting back into the workforce. What does that say? I think moms with young kids are having a very hard time because of a lack of child care. It shows we need to pass the president's child care policy, and we need to target how we get women in particular back into the workforce. Second, as Stephanie pointed out, wages have not risen yet, and part of the reason people aren't getting back in is the wages haven't adjusted. If we were to pass the $15 minimum wage, it would mean more not just for the lowest wage workers, but also increased wages up the pay scale. Both of those things would respond to the numbers today.
So you are saying that, yes, this makes it more likely you've got to pass the president's overall sort of plan that he's been pushing. But the White House said earlier this week that another round specifically of stimulus checks would be up to Congress. Is that something you think Congress should move forward with and sooner than expected?
I do think we should look at it. I mean, I think people are still hurting. They are not getting back into the workforce. We still need more demand for the economy. But I think what is most critical is the child care. What's most critical is the $15 wages. And it's also a symptom of the way we did policy. We allowed people to be laid off instead of incentivizing these businesses to keep workers in the first place. As William Spriggs, the economist, has shown, that cut out the networks, and now it's hard to get them back in. So we need to have better policies next time we have one of these downturns.
What about this July 4th deadline for the American jobs plan that Speaker Pelosi has been talking about? Do you think that, given what we've seen in today's numbers, in today's jobs report, that that timeline should be accelerated in your view? And do you think that's realistic?
I do think it should be accelerated. I think we see that there is a desperate need to raise wages on the $15. That should be back in the conversation on the jobs plan. We need to get the child care part of it. I know people are saying split it up, don't do child care until later. Now we're seeing that's actually an urgent need. And we need to have more of a gender focus. I mean, I can't say this enough. The numbers show men are getting back into the workforce. Women aren't. Women with kids aren't. And there needs to be targeted policies at that.
And we're showing some of those numbers here of the way that that breaks down between men, women as well. Congressman, generally here, what would your message be to somebody who might be making more on unemployment, on the stimulus, et cetera, who might be making more right now not working than they would if they were to go back to work?
As Stephanie said, that's an indictment of how much our wages are paying. I mean, it's crazy that people are not being able to make a fair wage that pays more than unemployment benefits. Think about this, $300 a week extra on unemployment, a total of a few $1,000s at most a month, and you expect people to survive? What that says is we've got to get to $15 wages in this country so people are being able to make a living wage of their jobs. And I think that would solve the issue. I also have yet to meet someone. I challenge Republicans to have someone come on your television show to say, I don't want to go to work. I'm fine with the unemployment check. That's just not reality. Most people want a stable job. They like the dignity of work. And then narrative, they never have real people. They just make these theoretical claims.
Congressman Khanna, thank you very much for coming on to talk about this morning's developing news with us live from Capitol Hill. Congressman, thanks for your